thought Usyk is there again to knock us back a couple of steps. Guess what? You get up. He's a young man. Daniel's 27 years old. 27 years old. And he's already a world champion, lost it. And between now, he's 30. If it's written, he will win another world title. Once Usyk decides what he wants to do, and those belts will fragment, they will break up. And there's so many heavyweights. It's a time to be a heavyweight. And I believe Daniel will be right up there to be contesting to become a two-time world champion.
Yeah, we prepare combination. You know, it's rough. I will continue in boxing, I will continue training, but now I cannot say who next my opponent.
Don Charles has just revealed what Daniel Dubois said after his second devastating loss against Oleksandr Usyk. However, Don Charles, the trainer of Daniel Dubois, spoke openly after the fight, saying there was no place to hide. He explained that he had been very vocal before the match and would remain vocal even after the loss, because that is how the sport works. Don said they came prepared with the goal of making history, but it simply was not their night. He mentioned that the entire team believed in Dubois and supported him fully, but things did not go their way. In the end, he admitted that the better man won, and sometimes that is just how boxing goes.
There's absolutely no place for hiding. I was very vocal prior to the fight. I'm still gonna be vocal after the loss, because that's the name of the game. That's how it goes. You know, the saying, you win some, you lose some. And we came here, we prepared for a victory tonight. We came here with intentions to succeed, to make history. And collectively, the team, Daniel Dubois, the fighter, and the team. And it wasn't our night, you know. Yeah, what can I say? It wasn't meant to be. You know, the better man won tonight.
Moreover, Lennox Lewis praised Oleksandr Usyk's performance, saying he was unbelievable on the night, boxing smart, counter-punching well, moving sharply, and avoiding damage while starting strong with his jab. He mentioned speaking to Usyk's cutman, Russ Anber, who felt Daniel Dubois came out too fast and reckless. Lennox explained it was a tough balance, where pressing too hard can leave openings. He said the key in such fights is controlled aggression and smart movement, stressing that speed should have been used more than power in Dubois' approach.
Yeah, listen, he was unbelievable. He was on form today. He boxed great. He did the right things. He was counter-punching, and he was moving well, and he wasn't getting caught. And he started off with a jab, so what can you say?
I spoke to Alexander's cutman, Russ Amber, and he says he felt Daniel Dubois started a bit too fast, a bit too reckless. Is it a sort of a case of you're almost damned if you do, you're damned if you don't? They say you got to stick him on him, but then if you stick him on him too much, you leave the gaps?
Yeah, it's that kind of situation. It's a control violence, basically, and control movement, making sure that you don't overcommit. And, you know, you got to use speed more than power. So in this fight, it should have been more speed than more power.
Tyson Fury gave a big shout out to Oleksandr Usyk for his fantastic performance against Daniel Dubois, calling Dubois a tough young fighter who came to fight. He congratulated both men, but made it clear that Usyk knows there's only one man who can beat him, and that's Fury himself. He reminded everyone that he's already beaten Usyk twice, and said the world knows it. Fury spoke with emotion, saying he's taken his setbacks like a man and kept going. While others talk, he's out on the road putting in the work. He called himself the Spartan, confident that he won those fights without a doubt, and closed by declaring himself GK all day, every day.
Massive shout out to Oleksandr Usyk. He did a fantastic performance tonight over Daniel Dubois, a good young game lad who come for a good tear up. So congratulations to both men. But Oleksandr Usyk knows there's only one man who can beat him. I've done it twice before and the world knows it. I've been fucked good and proper without any Vaseline on, and I've took it like a man. And here's me, not f***ing around at some boxing match. I'm out on the f***ing road running. But I'm running tonight. I come home, I done my job, and I got myself back. And I am the man. I'm the f***ing Spartan. And no matter what anyone wants to say, I f***ing won them fights. Guaranteed 100%. There's only one man. GK all day, every day.
However, Don Charles spoke with emotion as he addressed Daniel Dubois publicly, saying he had already expressed his thoughts to him in private. He shared how deeply he cares for Dubois, recalling the early days when Daniel's father first brought him over and how far they have come together. He reflected on their journey from losing their first fight as a team to bouncing back and becoming a world champion. Don acknowledged the recent setback against Usyk, but reminded everyone that losses are part of the climb. He praised Dubois' courage and resilience, urging him to rise again just as they have done before.
I've already told him privately, I'm going to tell him publicly, this is going out to you, Daniel Dubois. I love this young man because I was out in the wilderness till his father brought him to me, and it's been one hell of a journey. Our first fight together, we sustained a loss. We went back, regrouped, became a world champion, and beat the person else he beat to become a world champion. And then guess what? Usyk is there again to knock us back a couple of steps. Guess what? You get up.
He emphasized that Daniel is only 27 years old and already has a world title on his record. Don believes that between now and when Dubois turns 30, there is a strong chance he could become a two-time world champion if it is meant to be. Once Oleksandr Usyk moves on and the titles begin to break up, he sees a wide-open heavyweight division full of opportunity. Don expressed faith that Daniel will be among the top contenders fighting for another championship. He ended by saying this is not the end, and they should be grateful for how far Dubois has come, especially after being written off at such a young age.
He's a young man. Daniel's 27 years old. 27 years old. And he's already a world champion, lost it. And between now and he's 30, if it's written, he will win another world title. Once Usyk decides what he wants to do, and those belts will fragment, they will break up. And there's so many heavyweights. It's a time to be a heavyweight. And I believe Daniel will be right up there to be contesting to become a two-time world champion. You know, so it's not doom and gloom. We have to look at the successes. We have to be grateful for God for when he was a written off man.
Moreover, Eddie Hearn praised Oleksandr Usyk as one of the great generational talents, saying he watched the first two rounds and saw Daniel Dubois looking dangerous early on, backing Usyk up. But then, according to Hearn, Usyk made the decision that he couldn't let Dubois keep pressuring him, so he switched tactics, went on the front foot, and boxed aggressively. Hearn was amazed by how Usyk turned the fight around and finished it with a knockout, calling it an unbelievable performance from a true generational great.
Just, you're talking about one of the great generational. I watched the first two rounds and Dubois looked really dangerous. Came out, backed him up, and then Usyk just decided I can't allow him to back me up, so I'm going to go on the front foot and box aggressive here. And he knocked him spark out. Unbelievable. Just a true generational great.
Frank Warren spoke about Daniel Dubois' disappointment after the fight, mentioning that he was in the dressing room feeling down. He said that if Daniel is going to come back, he needs to learn from the experience. Warren reminded everyone that Dubois is only 27 years old and still has time to grow, drawing a comparison to Frank Bruno, who failed 3 times before finally winning a world title on his 4th attempt. He pointed out that Daniel has already been a world champion, which shows his potential. However, he made it clear that this night belonged to Oleksandr Usyk, calling him a truly special boxer who proved exactly why he is regarded so highly.
And Daniel's obviously very disappointed. He's in the dressing room at the moment, and if he's going to come back, he's got to learn from it. He's only 27 years of age. I look back at, Frank Bruno, for example. 3 times he fought for the world title, and he got it in the fourth attempt. And Daniel, he's won a world title. So hopefully he will come back and learn from it. But the bottom line is Mr. Usyk's night, and he showed what he was all about. I mean, he is a special boxer.
However, Oleksandr Usyk spoke briefly after his rematch win over Daniel Dubois, saying they had prepared specific combinations with his team, including Russ Anber. He confirmed that he would continue boxing and training, but at the moment he could not say who his next opponent would be.
Yeah, we prepare combination. You know, it's Russ. I will continue in boxing, I will continue training, but now I cannot say who next my opponent.
Moreover, Conor Benn reacted to Daniel Dubois being stopped in the 5th round, calling the result incredible but admitting he felt gutted because he was hoping to see the Brit win. He praised Dubois for putting up a good fight and then turned his attention to Oleksandr Usyk. Ben said Usyk could easily sail off into the sunset since he has already achieved everything in the sport. He described Usyk as a phenomenal fighter with God-given talent, adding that watching him in action left him in awe because some of the things Usyk does in the ring simply cannot be taught.
Dubois stopped in the 5th.
Incredible. Gutted, because obviously we want the Brit to win, you know, and Dubois put up a good fight in there.
Who do you want to see Usyk fight next, or just sail off?
He could sail off into the sunset and he's done everything. Do you know what I mean? He's yeah, phenomenal fighter, man. You're watching him, I'm just watching him, I'm going, oh my God. Like, that's God-given talent. Yeah, you can't train that.
Hamza Shira shared his thoughts after the fight, saying it was an honor to watch Oleksandr Usyk perform at such a high level. He expressed full belief that Daniel Dubois will be back, noting that at just 27 years old, Dubois still has time to become a 3- or 4-time world heavyweight champion. Speaking about what sets Usyk apart, Hamza praised his mental energy, footwork, and feints, calling him unreal in the ring. When asked about the final knockdown, he admitted that even if Dubois had gotten up, he would have been badly hurt, so it was likely for the best that the fight ended when it did.
And what an honor it was to watch him. But Dubois will be back. What is he, 28? He's young.
27.
27, he's young. He'll be 3-4-time world heavyweight champion of the world.
What is it about Usyk that makes him so good a level from the rest?
He joins the fighter's mental energy, man. His footwork, his feints, he's unreal, bro. He's unreal.
Do you think Dubois could have got up in the last one? Pardon? The last knockdown, do you think Dubois could have got up?
It would have been hurt. It would have been hurt regardless. So it's for the better, I think.
Agit Kabayel praised Oleksandr Usyk for a very strong performance, saying he had expected it from the start. He explained that Daniel Dubois brought heavy pressure during the first 5 or 6 rounds, but Usyk is a different kind of fighter. Kabayel highlighted Usyk's high boxing IQ and sharp skills, pointing out that once Usyk adjusted, he took control. Kabayel said he had predicted after the first round that the fight would not go beyond 6 rounds, and mentioned that even his coach believed the same. In the end, Usyk proved them right by stopping Dubois.
Very big performance from Oleksandr Usyk. You know, I said this before, you know, Daniel Dubois come with the big pressure in the first 5-6 rounds, but Usyk is different, you know. Usyk have the boxing skills, he have a good boxing IQ, you know, he stop him. You know, and the fight beginning, after 1 round, I say, this fight, Usyk will not more fight 6 rounds with him. You will see it. And my coach say also this, and he stop him.
Usyk's cutman, Russ Anber, reflected on Oleksandr Usyk's performance, saying it was clear he came in with bad intentions and was on a mission to show that being 38 years old doesn't mean he's slowing down. Anber mentioned conversations with others, including Richie Woodall, where they agreed that Usyk has actually improved with each of his last 3 fights. From the first fight with Fury to the second, and now this one, Anber noted that Usyk has become more dominant every time. He concluded that age is just a number, especially when a fighter stays dedicated in the gym.
Yeah, I mean, I think he went out there with bad intentions, didn't he? I think he was on a mission to prove that, you know, 38 isn't old yet. And I was talking to some other guys, including Richie Woodall, and saying that, you know, like, he's gotten better. If you look at his last 3 fights, the first Fury fight, second Fury fight, and this one, each one has gotten better, you know, more dominating each time. So, you know, age is a number, I guess. When you're in the gym all the time, it takes a long time to age.
Joseph Parker said it was a competitive fight early on, acknowledging that Daniel Dubois landed some strong shots that Usyk definitely felt. However, as the bout went on, Usyk began to break Dubois down and showed more bad intentions behind his punches. Parker admitted he didn't expect Usyk to be that aggressive, but understood the strategy. He noted that while Dubois brought early pressure, Usyk stayed on the move and then capitalized on the right moments to strike strike back. Parker also mentioned his own motivation for being there, saying he wants to face Usyk himself someday, especially because he's eager to be part of the biggest fights. He congratulated Usyk on becoming a two-time unified undisputed world champion.
It was a competitive fight in the beginning, and Daniel did land some good shots, and Usyk did feel those shots. But ultimately, in the end, he broke him down. And Usyk showed a lot more, I think, bad intentions in the shots he was throwing.
I was going to ask you, do you expect him to be that aggressive?
The
counters,
I know that, listen, Daniel was going to be aggressive, so what did Usyk have to do? He was moving, but when he found the time to be aggressive, he took and maximized on those opportunities.
For you, obviously you were there for a reason. I'm sure you want to get your hands on Oleksandr Usyk because you want to be in the biggest fights.
It was great to see him win and become two-time unified undisputed champion of the world.
Derek Chisora said he felt sorry for Daniel Dubois because Frank Warren had set up a clear chance for him, putting everything in place. He explained that boxing is no longer like it was 5 or 10 years ago, and that fighters now have to live and train with a more serious mindset. He stressed that to become dangerous in the ring, a boxer needs to surround himself with others who are equally serious and committed. He pointed out that Usyk represents the modern standard of a complete fighter, someone who is always fit, keeps the pressure on, and forces opponents to work non-stop. Chisora believed that only those who match that level of intensity can succeed today.
I feel bad for Daniel. Frank gave it to him on the plate, but you want to hang out. Let me start off. I feel bad for Daniel, and I'm gonna say this. To all the fighters out there, you want to be a killer, you hang out with killers. You train like a killer. Remember that. Boxing is a combat sport, you understand? It's not about the days of boxing like how we used to box 5 years, 10 years ago have changed. This guy is showing you the remedy. He's fit, he makes you work. It's crazy. So you do the same thing with him.
Adam Smith said Oleksandr Usyk delivered a brilliant and purposeful performance. From the ring walk, Usyk had a focused look and clear intent. Smith felt Usyk seemed slightly irritated, possibly by talk of the low blow in their first fight or Dubois' appearance in Riyadh, and came in wanting to make a statement. He added that Usyk quickly took away Dubois' jab within the first 30 seconds, just like he did to Joshua in their first bout.
I thought it was a sensational performance by Oleksandr Usyk. I think he came out with a steely intent. You could see it in his eyes in the ring walk. He was ruthless tonight. I think he had slightly the bit between his teeth. I think he wanted to make a statement. I don't know whether he was possibly irritated with one or two things. Daniel Dubois coming into the ring in Riyadh. Maybe all the talk about the low blow in the first fight, wasn't it? I think he just wanted to show the world how good he is, and that's what he did tonight. He took away Daniel Dubois' best weapon, his jab, in the first 30 seconds, exactly like he did with Joshua in the first fight at Spurs.
Adam Smith further said Usyk looked brilliant early, showing sharp footwork and aggression. He noted Usyk stunned Dubois at the end of round 2, while Dubois responded well in round 3, but didn't land cleanly. Smith mentioned a similar borderline body shot to their first fight, and said Dubois' right hand led to his downfall in round 5. He felt the bout showed a clear gap in levels, and called Usyk's display stunning, adding that the London crowd saw greatness.
I thought he was brilliant in those first couple of rounds. His footwork was fantastic. He was aggressive as well as moving, and I thought he shook Dubois as well at the end of the second round. I thought Daniel did really well in the third round actually to come back and landed a few right hands, but they were sort of partially blocked. Usyk never really gets hit flush. There was that other sort of low blow type body shot, exactly like the one in Poland, which they sort of shook off. And yeah, unfortunately, Daniel was trying to catch him with the right hand, and it was the right hand that led to the end for Dubois in the fifth round, where the fifth round that he had all that success against Joshua. But unfortunately tonight it was about levels, and I thought it was a stunning performance, and the crowd just love him. And London is his second home. I think 90,000 people, some of them who are cheering Dubois on, will all go home having been in the presence of greatness.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about their rematch? We would love to hear your thoughts on the outcome. So share your thoughts in the comment section, and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also check out our other videos on the screen right now.